Well, hello, lovely Libras. This is going to be a tarot reading for Libras celebrating their birthday between the days of October the 3rd and October the 9th, 2023. We apologize profusely for missing the weeks leading up to this. This is the first week we were able to get this series started. So love and light to everyone who's had a birthday before now, no matter what the sign, but this is going to be a read for the birthday window of October 3rd through October 9th for our lovely Libras. We were instructed by guides to use the most pastel decks that we have in our possession, and so in this particular case, we'll be using the Good Karma Tarot by Carrie Ward. I love this deck. I haven't had an occasion to use it for a little bit of time, so I'm very, very excited to have it in my hands at this time. And then in terms of an oracle deck, they wanted us to use the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. Beautiful pastel backing on this one. And those are going to be some of our just oracle support cards for this read. So again, this is just for the Libras who have a birthday October 3rd through October 9th in the year 2023. I asked guides earlier what range they thought we should be covering, and they said just look to have a reading that represents the first half of this Libra's year meaning it starts on your birthday and ends on your birthday. So the first 6 months after your birthday is what we're hoping to give a general reading on for Libras born October 3rd through October 9th. Let me get these beautiful things shuffled for a little bit longer and deal those beautiful cards. Archangels, angels, guides, and ascended masters, those that are of the light and from the light, we thank you as always for any assistance that you can offer us in working with the energies of Libras that are going to have birthdays between October 3rd and October 9th in the year 2023. Please allow my pantheon of archangels, angels, guides, and ascended masters to work with the groups of all Libra birthday girls and guys that might watch this video. You guys are the divine. You know exactly who might look in from time to time. So please collaborate with their guides and their pantheon of angels so that we can have a clear reading for everyone involved. Please help clarify my mind and energy so that I can interpret your message with as much clarity as possible for a human person who is prone to being human. And please help this reading be for the higher and greater good of everyone involved. Be uplifting, educational, kind, and thought-provoking and useful. We trust you guides. We know that you will take care of all that for us. It's just useful for me to say and set my intentions out loud. I know that you guys always have our back, and for that we are eternally grateful. Okay, we're going to pull these cards out and be right back. Okay, so as you can see right there, the first 4 cards, which are, as we ask the guides, talking about a time that you're just now coming out of, the energy that you're in sort of right now or very recently. And it is talking about how you have had a lot of really great ideas leading up to this sort of recent time, but you sort of came to a realization that sort of recently that it's sort of, to you at this time, doesn't matter how many good ideas you have, it's about making at least one of them happen. So you've been attempting to move from the imagination, brainstorming phase into the realization phase for at least one of the ideas that you have. In doing so, so you see that with the Page of Swords. With the Temperance card, you realize that in order to sort of exit that brainstorming energy, you really needed to come in and center yourself so that you could focus on the one thing you're trying to make happen, rather than all the brilliant things that you're able to look around idea-wise and just snatch from the air at almost any given time, because you're wanting, even though you're a brilliant brainstormer, to realize something into existence, to move a project into a phase where you're ready to begin the process of making it something tangible for yourself. So you brought yourself in with the Temperance card to try and focus and center so that you can bring your attention into a more pinpoint type energy rather than a very diffuse energy. This was a little bit of an emotional struggle for you. You felt a little frustrated by the parameters you were putting on yourself, by the new limits that you were implementing, and you see that with the King of Cups inverted. As you can see then with the Ten of Swords inverted, you also really sort of sometimes want to just cut your losses and walk away into more comfortable energy for yourself. You're used to being the brainstormer. You're not so used to being one that then takes that amazing idea and starts to mold it into something, again, like we used the word before, tangible. And so we see with the Ten of Swords inverted, you really wanted several times to cut your losses and walk away. You're a little uncomfortable in this energy, but you have not done that. You're still hanging on. So you're working on taking all those brilliant ideas that you have, and at least and either bringing them all together into one focus or choosing one of them and bringing it into realization. It's been a challenge for you, just to reiterate. So you went inward, you tried to bring yourself some balance and focus. You've been emotionally struggling with that and sort of have wanted to walk away, but as of yet, you have not. You're still holding on, very tenacious. Let's see what's going to happen next. So as you can see from those cards, you have it's a big project, and it's one big unified project that you have going on in the first 6 months of this year for yourself, Libras. It's amazing, actually. Um, you're going to want to say, hey, we've almost reached the end point. You're going to really want to just feel impatient and want to celebrate when really the project isn't done yet. And so being honest with yourself, almost brutally honest, and saying, hey, look, we really want this to be a fast, speedy, get rich quick scheme, or we really want this to be something that happens immediately, but that is not what's going on here. Even if it sounds more fun to stop and celebrate, whether it's a little achievement or a huge achievement, um, that's not what's going on here. we are not spread all over, and we are not done. This is one very big project, and it is one very lucrative big project. This is sort of like building an empire for yourself, and it is not the time to reach out and be heavily expansive. You're still focusing on the building and growing and developing of this one big venture. It's really important to be aware that you're heading into something that's really a big deal. It is a long game type project. It is the type of project that will get you out of a phase of life where you might be living hand to mouth. You're moving into a phase where this is a long project, and sometimes it's going to be one foot in front of the other. There's going to be some monotony, but this is the thing that brings you to prosperity. This is the foundation of all of your future projects. This is the beginning of your empire, and so it takes some time to learn how to wisely invest, to make a plan that extends to 5 years, even if that sounds scary, to not jump onto other little frivolous projects just because they sound like fun escapism for your very quick thinking brain. You got to stay focused on this. It is a brilliant idea, whatever this is that you've had, and even though some days it might be hard not to jump into a new idea, just remember this is a 5 year, 10-year plan kind of thing, and you should be proud of yourself that you've figured out a way to bring yourself into prosperity. And when you feel impatient, you should remember that you thought of this brilliant thing, and that even if it's slow moving for you, I don't think it's really necessarily going to be slow moving, but it will feel slow moving to you because you're used to project jumping and being the initiation and the spark of a project. This is the one that you're going to see through from A to Z, and you're going to be very, very proud of it. It's going to be a legacy for you. It's going to bring you a lot of stability financially, especially. Sometimes you're going to want to feel like, I need to wait and see what the wind brings. I need to wait and see what my inner being says about this. I'm waiting for a sign. Nope. Nope. I personally understand that tendency a great deal. That is not what's going on here. You don't need a sign. You picked a good idea. It's a solid idea. And with every day that you stay stable, slow and steady wins the race. It gets stronger. You don't need to wait for intuition and little detail work on this one. You don't need to give in to the secret anxieties you have in the middle of the night about this one either. Just remember, You know what you're doing, even when it doesn't feel like it. And sometimes that's also why it's wise to move slow and steady. In the tortoise versus the hare kind of thing, you're a tortoise now, and it's really important to remember that. With the Empress card, you can see that this truly is you birthing a whole new being into your life. Growing a child takes time and patience. It takes the willingness to endure growing pains and become more still than you are often comfortable being. And there also comes a time when it's important to bring others into the project to be inclusive, but above all, to receive some support. You know, growing your baby isn't an easy task, and you're going to need to look to the people around you for support and be unafraid to ask for that support. It doesn't have to be anything big. It can just be saying, hey, I'm worried about this. I've never done anything this big and steady before. I've never stayed focused on one thing this long, and it's making me nervous. You know, you just need those sort of coaches in your life to say, everything's going to be okay. Just metaphorically do your Lamaze breathing. Take good care of yourself, eat well, sleep well. You know, you're building a whole new being in your life. And it's also a time to find new people, make new connections, and find new collaborators to help you prepare to broaden your horizons. Now, you're used to often being a leader. Not in this case. You really need to sit back and take the advice of others that have been on this long path, that have built an empire before, whether that's a mentor, a teacher, whether you're seeking this stuff out privately by just taking courses on the internet, or you're going public on social media saying, hey, anybody that knows anything about this, I'm willing to listen. And you need to be prepared to be a follower and to be the student for a little bit of time. It's important to learn some new skills to help you support this big idea, this big project, this big, long, sustainable thing that you're building. With the Queen of Wands inverted and the Ace of Wands inverted below that, this is just to remind you that while it is like your first nature, your full nature, to want to be a leader and bring on a whole bunch of people to whatever you're doing and try to be inspiring and try to be an educator and lead people to follow their bliss. This is not the time to do that. No one says you have to be rude or mean, but this is a time wherein, first of all, you're still supposed to be following and learning from mentors, and you can't really teach and lead until you very thoroughly understand the subject matter at hand. So they're saying, while of course it's always wonderful to want to bring in people that can learn from you, that you can inspire, this is not the right time to do that just yet. You are busy inspiring yourself. You are busy learning new things and teaching them to yourself and learning them from others. This is not the time to try to be an inspiring, new, dazzling entrepreneur. This is the time to be establishing those skills so that in the future, maybe that is something you can do. This is sort of airplane oxygen mask time, where you put that mask on yourself first. You put that oxygen into your lungs. You make sure that everything with you is stable, that you know what you're doing, that you fully understand the steps that you're taking, that you're able to be consistent before you leap into, you know, taking care of everyone else. And the Ace of Wands, right? It's usually about brand new concepts and energy and a brand new idea. Well, the thing is, right now, you don't need a brand new idea. You have a really good idea. You're in the middle of working on that really good idea. It's really, really going to be wonderful. It looks amazing, actually, and it's a big fish you're working on reeling in. So all of these amazing sparks, you can write them down for later. You're really good at spark. You're not going to forget how to innovate or bring new ideas. And sometimes when you build one really strong fortress or business or project, or I don't know, whatever it is you're building as an individual, this certainly looks like it is in um, the area of work and whatever you do to gain financial stability and then success and then abundance. So whatever type of project, whether it's an invention, product, a business model, whatever it is, this empire that you're building, you just have to stick with it for a little while. You have to stick with the mundane. You have to stick with the learning for yourself. You have to stick with being the student and not the teacher. It's going to pay off for you. And I understand that it's sort of new energy for you, but that's because people don't build empires every day. Might have these amazing sparks and these success that sort of go off in the sky like fireworks, but you're not building little mini fireworks displays anymore. You're building the pyramids. It's going to be amazing because you're amazing and you're intelligent. You're a master of thought being a Libran. You just have to stay focused on one solitary line of thought for now, which can be a challenge for you. But I can tell you, whatever it is, it's going to be worth it. The bottom of the deck for this reading was the Ten of Wands inverted, and I think that really says a lot. A lot of times the Ten of Wands talks about burdening yourself, overburdening yourself, overdoing it, trying to do things the hard way, but this is upside down because you are changing, you are learning from those mentors and those sources that you are utilizing, and it's paying off in ways you didn't even expect. Um, you're not going to feel burdened because you are really taking this in appropriate sized pieces and working on them every day. You're not doing things the hard way, you're working the smart way. Sometimes because it takes a little longer, it doesn't feel like the smart way, but it absolutely is. You don't feel overburdened. You feel like everything is dispersed in a way that gives you plenty of time to develop this amazing thing while still taking care of yourself and taking care of the other areas of your life that also need attention. And you won't find that you have to delegate in order to get things done. You won't find that you have to martyr yourself in order to maybe help someone out with something they have going on for a minute. It's not going to be a burden on you because you are really stabilizing the process of how you are building this amazing whatever it is and how it is bringing financial stability into your life, and you're not having to constantly rush around. You're not working under huge pressure. You're just figuring it out. You're figuring out how to do a little every day. You're figuring out how to learn from someone instead of lead someone. You're figuring out that it's not, doesn't have to be so hard, and you don't have to be just the world's biggest maverick in order to finally begin to see that financial freedom and the beginning of whatever it is that you want to have. Once you have the basic structure or product or concept, and it's stable and it's properly executed, and you've had all of the right people teach you about it, and you've really listened and taken your time, and you've really kept good balance so that you are also taking care of yourself, staying healthy, having a lovely time, and not being overburdened, you can always build that thing higher and higher and higher, because it's a foundation that's not going to topple. I don't know what this is. For each one of you, it's going to be something different. But I am so excited for you. And I know, I can feel how sometimes it might wind up feeling very frustrating, and how fighting off impatience, can be challenging. But I'm telling you, this is going to be so amazing, and you're going to be so proud of yourself. It's going to change your whole life. This is a year where you change your whole life, and this is just the first 6 months. I'm going to ask that they give us some oracle cards. We're going to ask the question, how can we make sure that we maintain feeling happy and not too bored as we build this beautiful thing into our lives and take our time doing that? Please, guides, can you give us advice on how to not feel impatient and how to sort of soothe that part of ourselves that wants to hurry or take charge of this process? Because we know that if we just let it unfold and we put one foot in front of the other, it's going to be amazing. So please give us some advice on how best to manage our feelings and thoughts of impatience, and how we address our fears of this new way of doing things. Please give us advice on that. Archangels, angels, guides, and ascended masters, please help us to have some advice on those topics. Some of these oracle cards are really exciting. So as you can see, first you have Starfish Spirit. I'm going to read to you from it. Open to infinite possibility. Stretched out on the beach, the starfish opens fully to the rays of the sun, to the power of potential. As you look out toward the horizon, do you open up to infinite possibility? Spirit is the source of opportunities beyond your wildest imagination and ensures endless possibilities are available. At this time, Starfish Spirit urges you to stretch past the limits of your everyday perception and comfort zone, to dream of bigger things, and imagine with even greater hope and faith, for miraculous potential is shining down upon you. Feel it. Bask in it, and open yourself to be filled with inspiration. This is a very fortunate sign that Starfish Spirit has come to remind you of your infinite potential. When cynicism says no, starfish spirit says yes 1,000 times over. Are you willing to entertain new possibilities? Are you limiting your goals in order to be who you're used to being? Let go of your rigid beliefs about what is possible for you. Let starfish spirit inspire you to open your heart and your eyes to what spirit has available to you. Now, again, is a time to stretch beyond the familiar and unfurl yourself, for you are meant for more than you are imagining for yourself. Spirit wants the best for you and will support you in achieving whatever intention you hold dear. Owl Spirit, you see clearly now. Owl Spirit arrives to remind you that the wisdom within you is informed by your keen senses and the wisdom within the consciousness we will share. Even in the darkest night, the owl sees clearly and is guided by every sense it has, including the first sense of intuition. Right now, your sensitivities are turbocharged. You're receiving messages from all directions. Owl Spirit reminds you to be wise and to pay attention to what's between the lines and what is invisible to the naked eye, what cannot be heard with the ears, and what others may not be able to perceive. With all your senses aroused, you have much knowledge available to you. Clarity will come as you sit with all that you are sensing, allowing your intuition to guide you in understanding the whole and not just the parts. Let your wisdom arise and be your guide as you trust the acuity of all your senses. Intuition is real and can provide the clarity you need to understand your situation right now, your relationship, your finances, your job, whatever it is, you can see the truth very clearly now. Are you feeling overwhelmed and overpowered by what you're sensing? Are you feeling highly sensitive right now and feeling like you're in information overload, feeling too much and taking in too much stimulation? The antidote for overwhelm is to become grounded and return to your safe nest so wisdom can offer you clarity and guide you on managing the flow. Take a break to ground yourself in the reality of everyday senses and everyday practical needs. Go for a walk in nature. Perhaps you could even stop to lie on the ground or hug a tree or just stroll down the street beneath the soothing sky so you can regroup and clear your energy field. Your wisdom and ability to make sense of all the massiveness you are feeling and experiencing will return as Owl Spirit reminds you of your need to stay calm and stay clear. Moth Spirit, surrender now. Moth Spirit asks, what is guiding you right now? Are you in alignment with Spirit or pursuing something or someone with so much tenacity that it has become a compulsion or addiction? Are you so intoxicated by a potential relationship or opportunity that you can't think straight and stay with your current relationship or opportunity? Hard work and dedication are virtues, and love is a beautiful thing. When Moth Spirit appears, it's time to consider if you have gone over the edge in relentless pursuit of too many things. Workaholism, overeating, perfectionism, or addiction to certainty, or even to a person may be your current vice. The form of your addiction does not matter so much as awareness of the consequences of remaining persistent when moderation is what you really need. Let go of your excessive energy by channeling it in one direction. Now is the time for surrender and radical acceptance so that your drive does not cause you to flee or fight what is going on for you. Spirit wants you to release your need for control so that you can relax in a more balanced way of using your Moth Spirit energy. Banish the shoulds and musts so you can enjoy what is as you allow for what might be. Moth spirit can be intense, and honesty about your own compulsive tendencies is very much needed right now. It is too easy to switch from one thing to another, one addiction to another, distracting yourself from the discomfort of uncertainty and the thoughts and emotions that arise when you are trying to single-mindedly pursue a goal. Moth spirit calls you to practice moderation in all things and recognize when you are headed towards the light but are really heading into a fire that will cause burnout. Why are you so resistant to letting up? Could you be avoiding difficult emotions you need to feel and release? Now is a time to do a fearless inventory so that your addictive tendencies can be toned down and rechanneled into enthusiastic activity in moderation. You're not a machine. Listen to Moth Spirit's message that a change is needed to support well-being. Maybe deep down you know you have become too attached to too many things and too many someones. Let go of your need to control outcomes and allow yourself to remember the many ways you can channel energy into the one pursuit that you most value at this time. Antelope Spirit. When Antelope Spirit rushes into your life, you're being reminded of the quickening of your personal evolution as a powerful co-creator. You're being told unequivocally that it's time to get moving, set your intentions, and take action towards making your dream real. There is an intensity you can feel, and it's important to take advantage of the energy right now. If you have a plan for your career or financial abundance, now is the time to step it up. If you're asking about a relationship, make that first move. Just know that the intentions you have set in motion are coming together now at warp speed. Stay alert and keep up. Things are getting interesting when Antelope Spirit calls you to move quickly. Do you feel how fast your world is changing, like everything is moving at warp speed? It's hard to control desired outcomes or set fixed goals because by the time you get, quote, there, you will actually have moved beyond it. Now is the time to let go and enjoy the exhilarating ride as intentions you have set in motion in the past are coming into form with lightning speed. Your job is to stay the course, even if the pace feels dizzying. You may find you will change your mind a half dozen times or more as you improve your offerings. Try to stay focused, but do make peace with the pace, for if you ride this quickening energy, you will solve challenges quickly and effortlessly instead of being bogged down. The best way to use this energy is to let go of worry, to let go of distraction, and stay mindfully present as you continue to take action. Also, if something is not going to be in your best interest, no matter how badly you want to pursue it, Antelope will quickly remove it so you can move towards what is truly meant for you. If something is taken away, be grateful and keep moving. It was a distraction you didn't need. This is not the time to sit still, but to breathe deeply as you move forward into the velocity you've been waiting for. October 3rd through October 9th, Libras. This is such exciting news. Whatever it is you're building, it does talk a lot about the impatience, but as the oracle cards come, they're just saying, just take it step by step. Here's some advice about, how to remember that if you stay open, that spirit's got your back, right? If you remember to keep your head clear and your focus clear, things are going to be okay, even though it feels foreign for you to focus on one thing, even though for a period of time, it feels tedious and slow. Then it talks about surrender. Surrender and know things are always working out for you. Surrender and know that this new methodology is what you need. It's the answer to what you've been asking for probably for a long time. It's just such a new concept or a new way of doing things that to you it feels sometimes out of the blue and it feels unfamiliar and uncomfortable. But if you surrender and realize that you've been working on manifesting this for a long time, and it may not be that it's functioning exactly how you thought it would function when it unraveled, but it's happening. It's happening. Be happy, because once you become comfortable with the type of focus that's required, with the type of pace that's required, slow and steady, one thing at a time, you'll be surprised at how fast it speeds up, right? Antelope spirit, life is speeding up. That doesn't mean all of a sudden you have to start juggling again. It just means you're streamlining this new way to focus. You're streamlining this new balance in your life. And now it's going to move faster and it's going to gain momentum and it's going to grow bigger, whatever this is you're building. This is all projected for the next 6 months. It's going to require some patience and some shift in focus. But if you do it, if you hold on and know that what's coming for you is the thing or things or person or situation that you have been hoping to manifest for such a long period of time, all you got to do is hold on to that uncomfortable situation long enough for it to start to become comfortable. Then you'll move into a flow state, and baby, there ain't nothing that's going to stop you after that. I'm really excited for you. I know sometimes I talk in circles, and I'm sorry, but I always want to thoroughly understand whatever I'm looking at and make sure that I've explained it like 14 different ways in case people are different types of thinkers. Happy birthday to you, people of October 3rd through October 9th. I hope that you have a fantastic birthday. I hope that you have a fantastic next 6 months, next year, next entirety of your life, and even after that, the afterlife as well, because I'm a big fan of that. Wishing you all well, love, light, hugs, and kisses. I hope you do something really fun for your birthday, and I look forward to talking to you soon.